like a 60-40 only because of the weight difference, but you can't take Crawford's skill away. You know, you have to give him credit for skill. He's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing technician in the ring, and I think it's like 60-40.
Do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
Nah, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175.
David Benavidez just surprised fans by switching sides, boldly claiming Canelo Alvarez will easily beat Terence Crawford. Although David Benavidez sees the clash as an intriguing matchup, he believes the weight difference tilted in Canelo's favor. He gave Crawford respect for technique and skill, but stated that it is the size factor that strongly edges the fight with a 60% chance of victory.
It's a good fight. More like a 60-40 only because of the weight difference, but you can't take Crawford's skill away. You know, you have to give him credit for skill. He's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing technician in the ring, and I think it's like 60-40.
Thanks, David.
Does he have an opportunity to beat Canelo Alvarez?
I think if anybody has a opportunity, I mean, has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter, and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight, you know what I mean? And he didn't have a hard time at 154, but he wasn't like, you know what I mean? The other guy was getting him with some good punches, you know what I mean? So he felt the power at 154. So imagine you go up to 160, 160. Madrimov is a good fighter. And then, you know, you're fighting a strong fighter like Canelo. So, I mean, I feel like it's like I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. So it's just, I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. You know what I mean? He might get hurt. That shit might activate him to, you know, come back strong. Or or he might, you know, I don't know. We got to sit and see.
Furthermore, Benavidez addressed the notion of possibly facing Canelo, stating that he's focused on fighting at his division at 175 pounds. He made it known that if Canelo Alvarez wants a showdown, he'll have to step up in weight too, because Benavidez has no intention of sticking around at 168.
To be honest with you, I don't think a fight with me and Canelo would ever happen at 168. I want to go back to 160. I'm good at 175. I'm world champion here. So if you'd want to come up to fight at 175, I'm all good with that. But right now, I can't live in this fantasy world where like, oh, maybe I'm going to get this fight, maybe this and that. I've done my job. I've done everything to get this fight. It's one of the biggest fights in boxing. If a person don't want to make it happen, I'm not going to waste my time trying to make a fight happen with a person that doesn't want to fight me. So I'm just trying to fight the people who are really trying to fight.
And I want to fight the best fighters. The other best fighters, you know, and then that's exactly what I've seen with David Morrell. You know, David Morrell, he'd been calling me out at 168. He had a belt. He won a belt his third fight, you know, so that means a lot. That really says a lot, you know what I mean? So I looked at that like, you know what? I want to give the people the best fights possible. When you're a fucking warrior, bro, the only thing you think about is glory. I've never thought about money. I've been smart. I'm negotiating my shit, but it's always a prize, bro. It's always, if I go out there and beat Canelo, bro, I'm a legend. You know what I mean? That I'm gonna live forever in boxing as a legend. That means way more to me than any type of money.
In addition, Benavidez also made it clear he has no interest in facing Crawford, even if Crawford pulls off the upset and beats Canelo. According to David, that matchup simply is not on the table.
Do you think Crawford will fight you if he beats Canelo?
Nah, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175.
Adding to that, David dismissed any talk of discussions with Turki Al-Sheikh about a possible showdown with Canelo, but acknowledged that everyone understands how massive that fight would be. He's confident that the people behind the scenes are working to make it happen, and feels he's on the path that could lead straight to that blockbuster clash.
I haven't had any conversation about him with that, but you know, at the end of the day, he knows that's the biggest fight, and I'm sure they're looking at that like, this is the type of fight we want to make happen, and now it looks like we're on route to that, to be honest. I'm not gonna say we're on route to that, but now it's more possible.
Looking ahead to his clash with Anthony Yarde, David Benavidez shared his excitement about stepping into the ring in Riyadh. Although he would have preferred to fight in the United States, especially after his showdown with David Morrell, he remains eager to soak in the Riyadh atmosphere and add that big stage experience to his resume.
To be honest with you, I'm happy fighting Riyadh, don't get me wrong, but the thing it is, I wish it would have been in the United States just because of the last fight. You know what I mean? It was probably my biggest fight. People are hyped. But like I said, it is what it is. I'm excited that I have an opportunity to fight on Riyadh season. You know, on the main event, on a fire card. You know what I mean? This is a card I'm going to remember for the rest of my life. And I'm excited just to go over and get that experience. And yeah, and then hopefully, you know, hopefully that could be a home for me too, and I can just go back and forth. That we're gonna go with was Callum Smith. Something happened where it fell apart, and then we ended up with Anthony Yard. You know, but I knew back then that there was two options, either Callum Smith or Anthony Yard. So, I mean, they're both good fighters that come to fight. So now we're fighting Anthony Yard. So I think that's a better fight that could be made.
Building on that, Benavidez admitted he's been keeping an eye on Anthony Yard for quite some time, especially since Yard stepped in with Sergey Kovalev and made waves coming out of the UK. He respects Yard's aggressive style and forward pressure and believes if Yard brings that kind of fight to him in the ring, it will fire him up even more.
Because I've been watching Anthony Yard for a long time. I watched him when he was fighting Kovalev, before he fought Kovalev, because he was his big thing coming out of UK. So I know a lot about him. You know, I like his fighting style, and I like how he boxes, and I like how he comes forward. So at the end of the day, you know, I mean, people know me, and people know how I like to fight. That's how I like to fight. If he's gonna bring a fight like that to me, great. It's great for the fans. I guarantee you, I'm not gonna back down. I'm not gonna run away from nobody. I mean, I'm gonna look for the knockout. Now, you know, I'm not really trying to say I'm gonna knock somebody out. I'm gonna look for the knockout every round. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, great too. But I'm definitely gonna I'm gonna punish Anthony Yard.
In response, Anthony Yard said he's aiming for an all-out shootout when he meets Benavidez. He's fired up for the challenge and believes Benavidez respects him for being willing to take the fight with him, especially at a time when Benavidez has found it difficult to lock down big-name opponents.
We have to wait and see. Keep him off of me, push him back. He said that he's coming forward. I said I'm coming forward. I said in the UK, there was two twins named Cray twins. Don't know if you've seen the movie Legend. And then one of the twins say, I don't know if I can swear, but I want to out. And that's what I want. I want to shoot at, he wants to shoot at, bring the artillery.
No, there was a lot of respect. I think we're similar in character, you know, where we're fighters that we're fightful, yes. We love to entertain, but there's also that factor of respect. You know, he just said he respects me as a fighter, with the experience I've had, the fights I've taken, etc. And the fact that I was willing to fight him. I think he's had a lot of problems getting fights or getting a fight. And yeah, man, I'm just excited for it.
However, much like David Anthony weighed in on the Crawford versus Canelo showdown, saying he expects it to deliver a thrilling fight. He pointed out that Crawford has a tendency to raise his level when he gets tagged, but he believes Canelo responds the same way.
I think expectations, it's a strong word. Only expectation I have for that kind of fight is for it to be a good fight. Stylistically, okay, so the thing about Crawford is when he gets hit, he turns it up, and Canelo as well. It's one of the people. He's not. It's such a good fight, man. For me, it's like one of the best fights because I'm a fan of both guys, both of their boxing ability. It's gonna be a good fight, man. Very, very good.
Agreeing with Benavidez, Yarde also pointed to the weight advantage as the deciding factor, but feels that's the only real edge. If he had to pick a winner, he'd lean toward Canelo, believing Crawford hasn't fully adjusted to fighting at that heavier weight.
And to be fair with you, that's the only reason I would say if I had to choose someone, I would choose Canelo.
That's okay.
I got off the flight today, I'm tired.
Yeah, jet lag.
That's the only reason I will lean towards Canelo. Because of, again, the opposition that he's fought, his resume, one of the best in boxing, if not the best in boxing. And he's very, very, very comfortable at the weight. Crawford, it's going to be an ask for him. We'll see, man. As from what we've seen of Crawford so far, when he's gone up in weight, he's looked better. So at 147, he looked amazing.
However, Yard noted that Crawford looked impressive with his first weight jump when he moved up to 154 against Israel Madrimov. Anthony admitted it wasn't Crawford's sharpest performance overall, but felt he still looked his best making that jump in weight.
Crawford going up in weight, he's looked better?
When he went to 147, he looked amazing. And that, I think, was that his first fight at 147?
No, you're talking about maybe going to 154 when he faced Madrimov.
Madrimov, and that fight wasn't his best, but against Styles make fights, we have to wait and see, man. Let's just wait and see. People like when people talk like this shit, I'm just like, can you not see? Do you not know anything about boxing? Madrimov is not Canelo. Like complete different styles. Like Madrimov's very like he's moving consistent. He will fall off beat. Canelo is more sit. Like it's more like technical boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bit more the styles are different. It's exciting, man. I'm actually looking forward to that fight.
Sharing similar sentiments, Nico Ali Walsh threw his full support behind Crawford, backing him all the way and praising both him and his entire team. He sees Crawford as a rare talent whose name will be remembered for years to come.
It's a big money.
Well, it makes sense.
Crawford's only going to have big money fights.
He's 37, going on 38.
I think he'll fight Canelo and he's done.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's done. And how do you think he does against Canelo?
On the other hand, Eddie Hearn believes Crawford will face Canelo and then walk away from boxing for good. Although looking at the fight, Hearn pointed out that Crawford's huge self-belief makes him dangerous, not to himself, but to any opponent in front of him.
You see, the thing is with Terence, he's got massive self-belief, and that's quite dangerous. Not for him, like not against him. Sorry, for him. Like he's so. I think he has no doubt that he beats Canelo Alvarez.
Of course.
I really like Terence, by the way. I think he's a great fighter. But I have to say, like, tell me his major significant wins.
Well, obviously Errol Spence.
Yeah, but come on.
Moreover, he sees Crawford as a great fighter with plenty of skill, but feels he falls short when it comes to a strong resume.
But we're giving that credit.
And Ugas.
Tell me more.
I'm just saying.
I don't know, but
that's a big win.
No, but,
now,
okay. Keep going.
Your guy from the UK, who he stopped him, what, in the 5th round, was it?
Kell Brook.
Kell Brook.
Finished by then. Yeah, go on, keep going.
Okay, he stopped somebody that nobody's ever really can hurt.
Well,
Sean Porter.
I mean, yeah, but that was about 8 years before, and Errol Spence.
That wasn't. What do you mean?
Yeah, when he beat Sean Porter. What I'm getting to is it's not Terence's fault.
Right.
But when you look at pure resumes, like I actually think Canelo's resume is so underrated.
No, but can I just say one thing?
This is what I'm saying. This is getting back to Canelo against Crawford. I wasn't that impressed with Crawford against Madrimov. Right?
In addition, Jarrell Miller believes Crawford carries real physical strength and feels he's finally grown into the bigger weight class. He expects Crawford to take damage in the fight, but is confident Crawford will dish out plenty too, seeing Canelo taking his share of heavy shots from Bud.
Correct. How do you see that fight, playing out? What's your breakdown from a fighter's perspective?
I honestly believe Crawford is stronger of the two of them, physically. Just because wrestling and his martial arts background, I just feel now he's finally been able to just kind of fulfill himself at that bigger weight now. Now, will the punches affect him with the Canelo? I think so, vice versa, you know what I mean? So, I think Terence is going to pull it out, but you never know, this is boxing. I'm a big Canelo fan as well.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
Or are they both past their primes? Where do you kind of sit in this conversation?
Past their primes, I think they're both at their prime to fight each other. But you got to think about that. Anybody who's a great boxer gives Canelo a problem. Usually Canelo can walk guys down 9, 10, 11 rounds. He knocks them out. School didn't do that. So it actually shows a chink in Canelo's armor. Why would I stand there for you to hit on me? If School would have threw maybe 10 more jabs each round, he would have won that fight. But he doesn't throw any jabs. The jab could have won him that fight easy. But like I said before, they're not going to mess the bag up for Canelo Crawford, so they got to get a fight to Canelo regardless. Crawford is a guy, once he gets hit, he wants to bang. He don't give a about you hitting him, he's going to want to bang. So that's the fun thing about this fight.
Furthermore, Virgil Ortiz Jr. called Crawford one of the best fighters of all time, but pointed out that his smaller size could be the deciding factor in this clash. He still believes Crawford has a real shot and expects a close fight, but ultimately sees Canelo edging it in the end.
What do you think? It's a good fight. I think it's a real good fight. I just think Crawford's too small. I just think he's too small. He had one fight at 154, and now he's moving to 168 to fight one of the best of all time. Now, Crawford is one of the best of all time himself. He's just a smaller one of the best of all time, and I think that's just what's going to be the factor here. I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. I think he has a good chance. I think he really does. I think it's a real close fight, if anything. I just think that Canelo will win, not only because he has skill, because you have to have skill to win, especially against Crawford, who has never lost, but he's going to be I think he might be a little too big.
Nevertheless, Eddie Hearn pointed out how many people say Canelo is looking older, more flat-footed, and easier to hit these days. He added a surprising twist by claiming that Canelo never really wanted this fight with Crawford in the first place. According to Hearn, Canelo doesn't believe he'll get the credit he deserves for beating Crawford and prefers not to face fighters who rely heavily on movement.
Yeah.
Or that maybe
No, but
other
I think
people don't.
everybody does. I think everybody looks at Canelo and says he's getting on. He's a little bit flat-footed. He's getting hit quite a lot.
It's different being in there with
the
him.
worst thing, and the truth is, right, because I know, because I had the conversations with him, Canelo doesn't really want to fight Crawford. Right? He's never really liked that fight.
Of course.
For a couple of reasons. One, he feels that he's going to get no credit because he's much bigger than him. And two, he doesn't want to fight movers. Do you know what I mean? Like, when he fought Charlo, and Charlo just kind of just ran the whole night, he hated it. That's why he fought Munguia and Belanga, because he's like, great fights. Yeah, bring them. They just come forward. And I can stand and, you know, and play with him a little bit. Bivol, again, horrible fight for him.
Building on that, Benavidez Sr. predicts the matchup will play out like a Tom and Jerry chase, with Crawford trying to stay elusive. Furthermore, he feels Crawford hasn't looked his sharpest lately, but knows Crawford sees Canelo's reflexes, power, and knees aren't what they used to be. He expects Canelo to hunt for the knockout, while Crawford will stick to moving and picking his shots. If Crawford decides to stand and trade, Benavidez Sr. believes Canelo will finish him.
Has your mentality changed, or has your prediction changed for?
No, I think it's going to be a Tom and Jerry fight. You know, at the end of the day, you know, Crawford has not been looking really good. We saw how he looked in his past fight. So Canelo, you know, like I said, you know, the reflexes are not there. You know, this power's not there. The knees are not the same. So Canelo's going to try to knock him out, but Crawford's going to do what he does best. He's going to move around, try to win the rounds, touch him, and move, you know. I think if Crawford stays, Canelo can knock him out, you know, because Canelo's the bigger guy. I don't think Crawford's going to come and give the fans what they want, you know. He don't care, you know, he's just going to come and win and beat them. I don't know if they're going to give it to him, but it's just going to be a Tom and Jerry fight.
Adding to that, Brian Norman weighed in by saying weight always matters in a fight and sees this as a showdown between a great 154-pounder and a great 168-pounder. He believes the weight difference will play a significant role, but also questioned whether Canelo is truly a natural 168, suggesting that this factor might not be as clear-cut in this matchup.
I think weight does matter in fights. For a fact. So like, for example, let's say a good, exactly what we're looking at, a great, I'm gonna give him 154 because that's what he fought in last time. A great 154-pounder versus not even a 160, but a great 168-pounder. You feel me? So like, I do feel like that plays a big role into all of this. But at the same time, I don't really do think Canelo a real 168-pounder. So who knows how much does this actually factor in this situation. That's the whole key point. And also, a lot of fighters today are fearful. Going into the fight, they're always scared about what the other man doing. That's why I always say.
Moreover, Norman admitted he can't quite picture how the fight will unfold, but believes Canelo will look to impose himself with his size, while Crawford, eager to prove he's not intimidated, will look to step in and trade as well.
To be real, I tried to paint that picture in my head so many times and I can't come up with nothing. But what I feel like will happen is Canelo will try to enforce himself size-wise, you know, try to press it or something like that. And I can see Crawford, you know, I ain't scared of nothing, so he gonna go right back into it, you know, get his respect. But will he continue doing it? I don't know. Will Canelo even continue to try to do it? I don't know. So that's why I'm real conflicted that I real deal can't see how the fight play out. But yeah, I could definitely see Crawford boxing him or whatever. But also people sleep on my boy Canelo's skills. He got skills too. So like, even with the skill department, of course we got size, but also the skill department, he got that too. So like, we can't just discredit him.
In the end, Brian Norman sided with Crawford, saying the main reason he's backing him is simply because he likes Bud's attitude.
But I see a lot of fighters today, what they fear is, I'm gonna run away, I'm gonna stay away from all the damage, I'm gonna stay away from it. What if you badge yourself? What if you can do it yourself? What if you put the work in and you become the baddest man and you do what you say you wanted to do your whole life? You feel me? So you only got 24 hours in a day. What is that person doing to make him better than you? They wasn't just born
I can't come up with a final answer for real. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go with Crawford just because I like his attitude.
Meanwhile, Showbiz the Adult highlighted how Canelo uses his strength to handle bigger opponents as if they're nothing, pointing to his fight with Dimitri Bivol, where Alvarez used his neck strength to lift Bivol. Showbiz believes it all comes down to Canelo's dedication in the gym and the intense training that builds the power he shows in the ring.
And he weighs on Canelo's neck, and Canelo uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull.
Outside the boxing world, American rapper Fat Joe at the Berlanga Shearers fight put his confidence behind Crawford, leaning toward Bud to come out on top in this high-stakes bout.
With Sharif. Win by knockout. Who do you have in Canelo and Crawford? Crawford.
As the debate rages on and opinions clash, one thing's certain, this fight has captured the imagination of the entire boxing world and beyond. All that's left now is to wait for the bell to ring and see who walks away with their name etched in history. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you are notified every time a new video drops. And we will see you in the next video with more exciting updates.